Hey guys, welcome back to Money is Blind podcast. I'm your host Prasoon. This is the show where blind and visually impaired persons learn how to launch their business, scale it up, and become successful entrepreneurs instead of chasing ordinary jobs. So, what is your ambition? That's today's topic. So, you might have heard this question when you were in school. Your teacher might have asked you this question several times. What's your ambition? And depending on when you became blind or visually impaired, your answers might have changed. So back when my class teacher asked me this question, I said I wanted to become a scientist. I wanted to invent new medicines for my flu. I was frequently affected with this nasty cold and flu-like symptoms, and I wanted to get rid of it. And every time I used to drink this medicine that I hated, I just wanted to make it better. Just take it one time so that it never bothers me for the lifetime. That's how I wanted the cold flu medicine to be. And I knew that there was nothing like that in this world, and I wanted to invent it. Then it changed. Then my parents' ambitions became my ambitions. I don't know when that happened, but it did. And I joined medical school because one of my parents had that ambition for me. I'm not saying that it turned out to be a bad decision, but we often keep aside our ambitions, our dreams, because what we learn from our home, from our class, from our school is that dreaming big is not gonna make you rich or wealthy. So all the stories, the movies, the superhero, the comics that we saw, we slowly come to realize that they were not real. Reality is something which is very different from what we see on the screen. That's the same lesson our teachers, our parents, our mentors, our guardians, our grandparents and relatives, everyone try to instill into our brain. And when we realize that, we stop dreaming, we become, or we can say, we keep our ambitions aside, we wrap it up, put it in a dustbin and throw it away, or hide it in a closet, lock it, and then throw away the keys, so that nobody ever discovers that ambition, those ideas. They are forgotten forever. So if you're an adult right now, and if I ask you what was your ambition when you were a child, some of you might say, I don't remember, because you mastered it. You learned how to forget things. You learned how to forget your ambitions, how not to dream big. That's the way our world is designed. And that's the same reason why I am trying to bring up my son in a way that he can dream anything and chase his dreams. He can become ambitious. He can have any kind of ambitions. And I'll just be the coach. I'll be his coach. He has to do everything and I'll guide him. I'm not going to command him, order him. I'm just going to be his coach. Just like a startup mentor. So if you don't remember what your ambition was, take 1 or 2 hours. Think about it. Write down all the events, all the childhood memories that you have. Think about all those days, all those memories that you have buried deep inside the grey matter of your brain. Pull it out, just like how Dumbledore used to pull out ideas in the Harry Potter series. Pull those ideas out and put it in a piece of paper, or write it down in your smartphone or your MacBook or your Windows laptop, and then go through it one by one. Where are you right now? Where is the ambitious little child who dreamed big, who dreamed about owning those luxury cars, villas, flying in airplanes, flying in a balloon, paragliding, bungee jumping. Where is that kid? Where did that kid go? Think about it and try to sort out everything that you have done to hide that kid. The next step, what you need to do is try to bring that kid back into the limelight. How can you become that kid one more time? How can you resurrect those dreams and ambitions? Are you too late? Are you in your 50s or 60s? I hope you know the story of Colonel Sanders. You might have heard about Kentucky Fried Chicken. Well, he was the founder and he started in his 60s. So your age is never the problem. Your mindset is. I talked extensively about creating a positive mindset in Money is Blind podcast. And you can just go up, scroll up all the episodes and find those episodes. I talked about the proper entrepreneurial mindset, the top skills required for an entrepreneur to become successful. I think I published more than 2 or 3 episodes by this time. And of course, you can go back and listen to those episodes so that you get to know what it means to bring in the right mindset. So when you have the right mindset, you can bring that child back into your mind, back into the limelight, and then start dreaming again. But now your dreams will be much more composed. It will be much more realistic, and it will have much more clarity. Then start working on those dreams. Are these feasible? Can anything be done? What is the big idea that you need to do now? What are those ideas that you need to keep aside for a later day? Think about it, sit on it, take 1 or 2 days, and then take an action. Do you know what is the most difficult part of completing a task? Any task that we don't like to do? Yeah, you guessed it right. It is starting it. Once you start it, everything comes back into place, everything falls into place, and then it seems like there is something pushing, or the task has got some wheels or accelerator or gas into it, so that now it can go on an automatic mode. But when you start it, it will keep rolling. Trust me on this one, it works for every aspect of life. For writing a blog, for recording a podcast. I didn't have a clue what I was going to tell in this podcast, but here I am recording this podcast. Till I pressed on the record button, no idea. Nil. But when I started speaking, words come into my mind, topics come into my mind. Because these are topics that are buried in my brain and they get expressed at the right time. But for that, you need to take the action. You need to start. And when you start, everything will fall into place. It's like this for every other aspect of your life. It's not just for creating, not just for business. It is the same for relations, for making money, for dealing with financial matters, for investment, to start your workouts, to change your life, to become healthy, to consult your doctor, to go to the hospital and get the annual checkup done. It's everything depends on whether you take the action, the first step, whether you take that or not. So once you identified the ambition, the new ambition, start on it and we will see where it goes. And when you have started working on it, when you have completed the first few steps, if you need any help, contact me. You can reach me through the contact form in www.moneyisblind.com. That's the website. You can find all the podcast episodes there. You can also subscribe to the newsletter. I am sending regular newsletter to all the subscribers once in 2 weeks now. And I'm planning to increase the frequency so that I can communicate with you more frequently. So don't hide your ambitions. Don't hesitate to dream big. Even if you are in your 60s, you are not that old. Even if you are blind, it's not a limitation. It doesn't mean that your dreams are not achievable. Everything is possible. Just think about the possibilities. Just think about how you are going to start it. And then all the other doors will open. Have you read this book called The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho? It's one of the books that I read when I was back in my medical school. I think I was doing my internship and I was the intern in charge of the orthopedics ward. I finished the book in that night, in just one night. I was doing this night duty that day. I was on night duty and I had bought this book from Amazon. It was just like 100, less than 200 pages for sure. And I finished it in like 2-3 hours straight. So one of the lines that I can remember from that book is, if you set your mind on something and try to work towards that goal, everything in this world, the world will change in such a way that you get what you decide for. So that's the moral of that story, The Alchemist. Go read that book. It's a small one. I think it's for school children, but it's a very powerful book. So the power of ambitions and dreaming, it's very, very important. If you don't have an ambition, you are not an entrepreneur. Alright then, that's it. I'll be talking to you tomorrow. Bye for now. You guys take care.